If you're watching this video, it's a good chance you're a poker player who wants more out of life. You want to reach your full potential. You want to strive for more and more success and get the most possible out of yourself. My goal with this video is to give you a framework for doing just that. Now, before we get started, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. Now, the way I look at it, if you want to have success in poker, success in life, you've got to understand that there's multiple versions of yourself. Okay, so on the deepest level, you've got an identity, who you think you are and how you show up in the world. So today I'm going to show like 3 different versions of you that can show up and how it's going to lead to very different outcomes, and how if you take this model on board, you can have drastically more success in anything you do, especially in poker. So let's say there's 3 versions of you. The lowest version is your worst self. So your worst self is the lazy person, they procrastinate, all your bad habits. Think as I'm talking now, what are your worst habits? What are you like at your worst? Do you lie in bed all day? Do you watch Netflix? Do you waste your time? Do you tilt at the poker tables? Are you frustrated, angry, low energy? To think about the worst self, that's a version of you that exists. Now, if you live your life from that framework of your worst self, what results do you get? Rubbish ones, awful ones, and we all have bad characteristics and bad versions of ourselves. So the goal is to understand what your worst characteristics are, and you want to avoid those, okay? So you don't want to act out of that lens. Then you've got, let's say, your neutral self. You are on a good day, an average day. Talk me through how that looks. What habits have you got? What time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? What time do you study? How is your mindset when you're playing poker? How are you thinking? How well are you focusing? What version is that, and what results have you got? And on average, where you are right now is kind of going to be a result of your average neutral way of showing up in life. So if you're happy with the way your results are going in poker, if you're happy with the success you're having, awesome. You're neutral, your default is good. Well done, you've created a good default that's getting you the success you want and making you progress. If you're not happy with your progress, or if you want more, you want to actually reach your full potential as a poker player and as a person, you can tap into a 3rd model, which is the best version of yourself. So what does the best version of yourself look like? And I'm going to make it very practical after I've talked through these examples so you guys can go away and actually implement on this. So the best version of yourself, what's different? Tell me through what the best version you would look like. What time do they wake up? How are they thinking? How are they making decisions? How are they focusing? What are their habits and routines? How long do they study for? How long do they grind for? What things go through their head? What books do they read? What YouTube videos, courses do they take? How do they show up in the world? And if you have the best version of yourself and you showed up as the best version of yourself every day, how would that look? How would your life change? What would be different? And right now you've got your current version, your worst version, and your best version, okay? And your goal is to understand what the best version of yourself looks like and to get in alignment with that every day and show up as that version every single day, or at least the majority of the time, because your success in life is going to be directly related to which version of yourself you stay in alignment with. So like I said before, if you're neutral, what you're doing right now is giving you the results you want. Most people watching this video want an upgrade. They want to do better. What they're doing now is good, but it's not good enough. So what I want you to do is get that ideal vision of yourself, start getting really clear on it. So I taught you to think about the characteristics of it, but I want you to write it down. I want you to get a pen and paper and write down your ideal self. What characteristics do you have? What's their routine look like? How do you think? How do you feel? What does your A-game poker look like? What does your A-game mindset look like? What do your habits and routines look like? The more clear you can get on the best version of yourself, the better. So spend time, understand who you want to be, because we all have different versions. We generally leave it a chance and just show up just randomly. If I wake up motivated, awesome, I'm gonna have a good day. If I wake up low energy, it's tough. No, that's like the leaving things to chance approach. Take control. If you want to reach your full potential, understand what it would look like if you did. There's a version of you right now who crushes life, who probably crushes high stakes poker, if that's the path that you want to go down. You're capable of being many versions of yourself. So if you want to reach your full potential, first, do you think it'd be handy to know what that would look like? Yes, it would. And a lot of people don't spend the time to cultivate that vision. So write down your characteristics, what time to show up, everything about yourself habits-wise, and then every day, your goal is to show up as that ideal self, show up as that perfect version of yourself, the best version, and try to get more and more in alignment. When you do that at first, there's gonna be a big gap between who you are now and the best version of yourself. Maybe there's a huge gap. Maybe you're more closer to the worst version than the best. Your goal is not to be the full best version of yourself every moment, because that's gonna take time, but it's to close that gap. Close that gap. So imagine you've got your best version and you've got their whole day mapped out from morning till night. And they'll be studying 3 hours, they'll be grinding 6 hours, they'll be meditating, they'll be eating good foods, going to the gym. You've got all the things that your best version does. Now your goal is, how much in alignment with that were you today and tomorrow and the next day? And you can score yourself. You can go, I was 60% in alignment with my ideal self. And your goal is to go to 62%, 65%, to the point where that gap gets very close, where you're almost acting like your best self always. Most people have a rough vision of what their best self is, but in all honesty, they allow their worst self to show up more often. Why? Because it's more wired in, it's more survival based, it's easier to fall into bad habits than it is to just stumble into good habits. Generally, you need to be more willful, you need to be more conscious and choose the process to be the best version. So what I want you to take away from this video, I want you to create an ideal version of yourself, the best version of you, which exists. You can show up as that version, and your goal is to shorten the gap between the best version of yourself and your current version till it becomes so close that it's almost the same thing. It's going to be really hard to get that end, but once you get about a little gap between your current self and best self, that small gap at the end can be hard to close, but your only goal is to be the best version of yourself. And do you agree with me that if you showed up as your best version, not someone different, not someone else who had success, but the best version of you, do you back yourself to have success? Do you feel like you could have success if you were the best version of yourself? Because I back you. I back the best version of you to crush everything you do, and poker would be a breeze if you could show up as the best version. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Also, there's a free quiz for you guys in the comments. If you click on the link, it will take you to a quiz. What level is your current poker mindset? And once you're on for the quiz, it'll give you a bit of a report, tell you what you need to do to step your mindset up to the higher levels and have more success in poker and in life. Thanks for watching, guys. There's going to be plenty more coming from me very soon. Drop a comment if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for my next video.